Hey there, this is Jacob Wirka filling in for Pastor Nat here on Win the Day. This week we're looking at the book of James, exploring just how important the words we use really are. The average person speaks around 7,000 words a day, and some of us speak a lot more than that. That's a lot of words. And that's a lot of opportunities. Opportunities to build people up and opportunities to tear people down. The old saying goes, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me." But if we're being honest, I think we all know that that's not true. Some of the deepest pains that we carry come from careless and evil words that have been spoken to us. Words are powerful, and they should never be used so carelessly. The Bible would seem to agree with the importance of the things that we say. In James chapter 3, James has just gotten done talking about the idea that faith without works is dead. That is to say, that we're meant to live out our faith in Jesus, and that it should transform the way that we live. Continuing with this theme, in chapter 3, James teaches how every aspect of our lives should demonstrate our faith in the gospel. In James chapter 3, verses 3 through 4, it says this, "If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ships also. Though they are so large and can be driven by strong winds, they're guided by a tiny rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs." James' point is clear. These examples are how big and powerful things can be directed by something very small. Now, in the same way, our tongues are very small. They're a tiny part of our bodies, yet they are powerful. I can relate to some of these examples in my own way. When I was young, I loved riding and working with horses. I can still remember being impressed by how big and powerful these animals were, and how easily I could guide them around and direct them with something as small as a bit and some reins. I can remember how intimidated I was when I took the reins for the first time. I had the responsibility of controlling this giant animal in my hands. And I can also remember losing control more than once, and how terrified I was because an out-of-control horse can do a lot of damage. And when you lose the reins as a rider, you're just along for the ride. You have no idea where that horse is going to take you. So if we follow this illustration from James, our tongue is like the horse's reins, and the tongue can determine where we go. In many ways, our tongues reflect the state of our hearts. And if a person's words are out of control, oftentimes so is the person's heart. Not only can our bodies be easily guided by words, but so too can the body of the church. So we must be careful with the words that we speak and the words that we allow to guide us. Now, in the same way, with the illustration of the ship is powerful. It's a giant boat, but it's dependent on the small rudder to determine where it goes. Ultimately, in both of these illustrations, we must ask the question, who or what is in control? Who holds the reins to our hearts? And what desires will we allow to steer the ships of our souls? If we try to take control ourselves and let our emotions and our stress and our sinful desires guide our words, we're going to lose control. And our words have the power to hurt people and to hurt ourselves. But if we give control to Jesus and allow the Holy Spirit to continue to work in our hearts and guide our way, we'll find that our words reflect a heart that's been changed by Jesus. We can use powerful words to teach, to encourage, and to build people up rather than hurt and tear down. May Jesus grant us the humility to allow the Holy Spirit to be the force that guides our tongues, that we might use our words for His glory.